Hello everybody, this is Code with the Naked Character Experience, and I'm back doing some more Diablo 3. The reason being, I finally got most of the parts for my Barbarian. It's good enough to use, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. The one thing I'm missing is Bul-Kathos' weapons. I have one of them. Do I have the Warrior Blood or Solemn Vow? I can't remember, I'll show you. It's not very good at all, actually. It was so bad, but I had a socket already, and I didn't want to... Oh yeah, I have two things actually to show you. So here's this, first of all. This is what I'm dealing with right now for my Barbarian. Um, right now, it's honestly not too bad. Like I said, Solemn Vow is what I have. It's not very good. I rerolled damage and left the socket on because I didn't want to reroll the socket for something and then use a Ramalani's gift. For now, because it is a pretty terrible weapon. Like, it low on the damage scale. As you can see, 9% damage boost to it. And I only got to 2300, so the best would probably get to almost 24, maybe just barely 2400 damage. A little bit lower range. It's okay though. Then the Ingama I was showing you guys, that ancient one I have, I just threw on reduced cooldown, threw it on him just because why not? I mean, it's the only other one-hander that I have that works really well. And as you can tell, I told you that I would get all this stuff, and it probably wouldn't be very good stuff, but it'd be at least put together. This is the only really okay thing I have, and I got it just recently. But everything else, as you can see, it's okay ranges, but they're all standard equipment, and they don't have any secondary resists, except for the helmet, of course. So as you can see, oh yeah, I got that one ancient too, but no secondary resists on any of that stuff that I need. And then I also got the Chilinix chain. That's the first one I got. I got another one that was a little bit worse. Um, It's pretty good though. I'm not doing too bad on that. I got all the equipment I need, and then I got a new Mars Kaleidoscope when I was playing too. Damn near perfect. Um, the strength's a little bit low, but on that though, that doesn't really matter too much. I probably would have wanted physical resist instead of strength, but that does not matter to me. I'm okay with this. And then last but not least, I'm using a Skull Grasp. A lot of people do the Obsidian, the Ring, and the Zodiac, and the Convention Elements, but I found a Skull Grasp, and it does whirlwind damage increase. I got attack speed on it instead of crit damage, but that's okay. This one doesn't even have crit damage either. Last but not least, like I wanted to show you guys, I have 3 Ramalani's gifts now. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened, but somehow out of the blue, I just got 3 in a row. 2 of them were for normal rifts, 1 of them was a greater rift, if I remember correctly. It's weird as weird. And then last but not least, too, so I wanted to show you guys this build, and then my other plan is to show you the keys, like I told you I was going to do. I did collect them and anything like that. It didn't take too terribly long to show you. So that's pretty much the update I have for now. So basically, I'm just looking for the Warrior Blood, because I already have the Solemn Vow. That'll give me Fury Generation. That means I can change this to Blood Funnel instead of Wind Sheared, and that'll allow me to generate more Fury. And we'll be sitting pretty. But other than that, though, the Mars Kaleidoscope that I got isn't too bad. I think for this build, if I could get the... I can't remember how it's pronounced. Zeph something amulet. I'd prefer that. Now, before I do that... so here's how it works. So basically, you just, 1, 2, 3, 4, right click. And then you hold down left click and then shift. By the way, like I said, I just started the game. Every time I just start the game, I get startup lag. You guys know that. I've already told you that before. But this build is ridiculously awesome, and I don't think I'm going to go back to any of my other builds if I'm just doing some normal farming missions or anything, because it's the fastest build I have now. Like, in terms of pure movement speed throughout a map, fastest hands down. As you can clearly see. The one thing I do want to update to this... or not update, the one thing I want to say for playability on this, it's very playable, very easy to maintain Fury until I get the last weapon, then the Fury might be a little bit harder to maintain, but that's still okay. So basically what you do, see how I'm moving kind of slow? You just click 3. That'll give you the movement speed bonus from your belt. Then 1, that'll give you the extra movement speed. And then once in a while, you just click 1 again when you're actually moving down hallways and such until 3 is ready again. That's how it works. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And I can fly across an entire map in a matter of minutes. The best part too is a lot of the enemies you face are very, very pursuant on trying to kill you, and all of the whirlwinds kind of move in a close to similar direction in the way that you're moving. So it's really, really nice whenever they're trying to chase you down because all you have to do is just go one direction. They'll follow you and run through those tornadoes the entire time and die to them pretty freaking quick. So this is basically the playstyle of this build comparatively to the other ones. I usually try to compare, the ease of use to the damage to the playstyle, and so far I like this one the best out of anything that I've done. Like I was saying before, of course, but the reason being, like specifically, the playability is mindless. Like it's fun and mindless. Like you point your mouse in one direction, you hold down the left mouse. In my case, I hold down Shift too, just so that he'll maintain the Taiguk stacks that you see at the bottom there. And then you just kind of periodically click between some of the keys when you see them go off cooldown. That's it. That's all you do. And it's so rewarding to fly through an entire map like this and just watch everything die in your wake. My especially favorite part about it too is that it's very, very helpful against it's very, very helpful too whenever like you have something that's a higher level than this. Like, I mean, I don't have everything yet, and not everything's like perfectly set up, so I could barely do a greater of 38. Like, I've beaten a 38 with him, but it took some effort. And the first time I tried a 38, I got my ass handed to me, and it took me like 7 minutes to kill, not 7, like 3 or 4 minutes to kill the Great Rift Guardian. The time that I beat it, it took pretty similar time. It took like 3-4 minutes. And I died a couple times to him, but I got enough kills to that point where it actually wasn't, it didn't time me out on it. So you can do a 38 with this character. I can, that is, for now. But it's not very intuitive yet, like or aggressive yet. Like it's still very weak. He needs a lot more secondary resists to survive a little bit better. And I could swap out all the rubies for the diamonds to give me more survivability. But in my case, I'm not really using this build for Greater Rift climbing yet because I don't have everything yet to do it. So might as well just leave it the other way. As you can see, though, like I was saying, if you just sit here and spin on a harder difficulty enemy like this, it does a crap ton of damage, and they're kind of trying to maintain tracking you, and it's fast and simple. You just go like that, and you just kind of loop, 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 loop. The other way you could do it, too, is if like you have a hallway like this, especially where they can't really avoid. You can literally just take, here, let me just grab these real quick. You can just take that and go like this, and then go back and forth like this. As you can see, nothing can really get out of your movement that way either. If it's a more open area, though, I would prefer doing this, just because it goes every direction and can kill a lot of stuff coming in on you. And this is pretty much how you do this. Like now, I'm just going to go ahead and clear the rest of the rift, just in the hope that I can get maybe some blood thieves or something. Just something more drops, whatever. And boom. As you can see, you really don't have to pay attention. Like, maybe I'll show you the Greater Rift real quick. I might just finish off a little bit left here, and I'll show you a Greater Rift, like a really low-level Greater Rift. That'll just show you like how nice it is to clear them, because you literally don't have to turn around or look back when you're going through it. It's wonderful. I mean, that's my playstyle. That's how I've been saying it in other videos whenever I do Greater Rifts, that my playstyle typically speaking, on a higher grade rift, I typically like to avoid having to kill every single little trash mob. I much prefer going and killing all the elite packs and then killing any trash mobs around the elite packs while I'm at it. And this build perfectly complements that playstyle. Like the way that it works is just miles ahead of the other builds I have. And I thought my monk was fast. This has it heads over heels on that. Like you can make your monk fast, and you can also make the demon hunter really fast. The demon hunter just as fast as this, but it requires so much more resource cost to do that. While with this build, the resource cost is negligible, just as long as you're hitting stuff with your whirlwind. Like I can spin indefinitely and keep my stacks up if I paid attention enough. Oh, the other thing too is you got to remember that with your what's this called again? Jeez, Battle Rage. Jeez, I can't remember names. Don't hit me, please. With Battle Rage, you just have to make sure that you once in a while check on it, but don't spam that regularly because I don't know if you guys remember, but in like the older builds with the Barbarian, you would basically use Battle Rage as a resource spending spam to get healing. Now Battle Rage is basically used for the extra drops in health orbs. These health orbs here. Reason being that I'm using Reaper Wraps, so I want as many orbs as I can get, so then I can pick them up whenever I'm starting to run low on resource. That'll help a lot more when I'm not using Wind Shear. I had to sneeze. I apologize. Every time I start recording, I have to sneeze. It's just how the game works for me. But yeah, so using Wind Shear, I don't really need the extra orbs, life orbs, but I have it on right now because I don't want to switch it up and then use something else that I really enjoy and then forget to switch it back when I build my normal build. But as you can see now, like it's kind of going low, so I just do it once. But it, all it does is kind of like give you that boost. But if you're spamming it on this build, it's going to actually waste your Fury more than help you. So try your best not to do that. Unless if you get a channeling pylon. Then you just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 while you're holding down the button and attack. That's it. You go like this. And then, of course, for the Ignore Pain, as you can see, that's what I was going to show you. All this basically does is give you life regen and more resist. So for that, honestly, just do it whenever you see it up. And then in the higher grader of difficulties, probably should keep it for elite packs and such, just so you don't die. A quiver, that's helpful. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and switch this over now to the Greater Rift with the Keystone that I got, just to show you guys that part. I'm going to make a quick cut here in just a second, though, so that I can go and get rid of the sniffling that I'm doing now. I don't like doing that on video. I apologize if you hear that. I try my best to avoid doing it, and I try my best to avoid sounding like I do right now. I think I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold. My breathing's really labored, and I'm like wheezy all day, and usually when I get wheezy like this, it's because I get sick. So I'll be right back. There'll just be a quick cut, and then we'll start the Great Rift. Alrighty, so here we are back. As per tradition, I do Great Rift 1 on. I get drops. I get legendary drops, and I have a pretty good chance for set pieces whenever I do this. So we're going to start Great Rift 1 and do a couple, and I'll show you how nice this is. It's like a meat grinder. It's wonderful. But yeah, I tried to make sure that I'm not going to be sniffling anymore. I tried to make sure I sound a little bit better, but I can still hear it in my throat. And I don't know if you hear whenever I inhale, it's a little bit labored. So I apologize if I sound really funny on the video. Nothing I could do. I just been kind of trying to fight off colds for the past 2 months, I guess, or something. I don't know. If any of you guys live anywhere near Colorado at all, you'll see why though. Um, I guess I'm feeling this way. The friggin' weather has just been atrocious here. Like right now we're in flood warnings and stuff, and it's just been raining like freaking crazy. And we're just hoping right now that, it's gonna get a little bit better. I personally love the rain, but when it's this bad of rain, it actually is worse for the farming. It's been flooding everything. As you can see, though, like I said, this is a meat grinder. It's a wonderful, wonderful build. On higher difficulties, of course, it wouldn't be this quick. But I'm just showing you, like, if you do similar styles to how I do for trying to get lower level stuff. Oh, speed pylons are the best because now it makes it stupidly fast. But if you just do something similar to I do, like you're trying to level up a new character and you're trying to get parts for a new character, and this is the way that you do it like I do, this is why I do it. Like, I can kind of get 40s down, a little bit. I'm not perfect at anything like that. I could do greater 41s, 42s if I get lucky. It depends on what I'm doing then. That's all well and good, but if you do this instead, it's so much easier for lower level characters than to try to force yourself to do a high level that you can't win. The return, in my opinion, is much better. The only problem is you're not guaranteed. Like on the higher difficulties, like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50s, it seems like you're guaranteed at the very least 2 or 3 legendaries. While on this kind of play, at most you'll get probably 1 or 2 on the lower levels, and then there's a chance you'll get nothing like you saw there. But, like, this is such a good way to get a chance to get a set piece, and a very, very good way to get more blood shards. I mean, it's a very beneficial way. I have noticed that if you sit there and you do kind of grind out normal rifts for a long time, like just grind them out like back to back to back, just normal rifts, there's a pretty good chance that you'll eventually get a rift that'll have a blood thief or 2 even sometimes in it. Like last night that happened to me. I got 1 on one floor, 1 on another, and then on the 3rd floor I got one pack. Didn't have any blood thieves in the 3rd one, but it still had a bunch of goblins and stuff, and I was able to go swap out, and the 2 thieves, I already had like 500 blood shards, so the 2 thieves, I had to go and spend some blood shards to grab the rest of them. So yeah, you can possibly get more blood shards that way, but it's not a guarantee either. So in my opinion, this is a surefire way to get blood shards. Like, approximately how many you're going to get at the end of the greater rifting you're doing. And it's a great way to get a chance at set pieces, because this is where I more regularly get set pieces than anywhere else. If I do normal rifts, I see legendaries occasionally. Sometimes I don't see legendaries at all. Other times I see legendaries a lot. Like when you were watching my Demon Hunter, all I was doing was dropping freaking legendaries. But set pieces are usually harder to come by for me while I'm doing greater rifts. Or just normal rifts. So this is the way I do this. I mean, everybody has their own method for this game. If you ask anybody who plays this more than just like occasionally, if they have at least Paragon 300 or higher, and you ask them, they all have a different version of events of how to play the game and how to farm. Because if you try to Google, like, I mean, it's just silly too, so don't really actually, but like if you just try to Google how to farm for blah, 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 you're basically looking for how somebody validates the way you farm. Because you feel like somebody will have like a surefire way that'll break everything, when in reality, it's not that way at all. Everybody has their own version of how to farm in this game. It's just, that's how it works. And this is my favorite version of how to farm, and that's why I'm showing you guys. I'm not trying to force it on you and say, this is how you should do it. I'm saying, this is how I do it, and if you like it, you should try it. Alright, so we'll go as high as I know this guy can do. Like I said, 38, a little bit much. He's the one that got the 40 keystone as well, so he has been, I have been known to get this character to actually do pretty good work for me. But I know for a fact that a Greater Rift 40, he cannot do. A 38, depending on the mobs and how evil they are, he could do a 38, okay. Like, speaking of hate, if I get things like anarchs and stuff like that that can just fly off screen and hit me, and they have lightning and electrified and stuff, that I'm done. You know, if I have ones that have all that kind of stuff, but it's like something similar, like a zombie or something, I could kind of bait them away from it and move away before I get destroyed. So, but I know for a fact that a 38 would just infuriate me if I get the wrong set of enemies, so I'm not going to do it. I know 31 is very comfortable still, so I'll do that. But as you can see, even at a Rift difficulty 21 with all the equipment there, but it's subpar and I don't even have the primary weapons that I need. I could do a 21 without even friggin' batting an eyelid. So. And yes, an eyelid. Not an eyelash. The whole eyelid. Just like it flickers up and then does that one thing that you used to have a friend that could do that was so gross, and then you'd kind of try to do it by yourself and you're like, no, it feels too weird, and where they flip their eyelid inside out and they make it look like they're a zombie and they go Rrr. Then you find out later that there's a possibility it could get stuck and you're kind of secretly hoping that would happen because it'd be really cool to have a friend that has his eyelid stick upside down. Yeah. No, just me? I'm the only one that thinks that way? Okay. Well, you know. But yep. There it goes. All clean, dandy duty. I'm like a janitor on this kind of build. I'm a hoover. I'm a Swiffer sweeper. I'm the bounty quicker picker upper. But to enemies. Okay, real quick before I start sniffling again, just give me a second. I have to blow my nose. I forgot to say too that this build is also one of those builds that, say, like if you're a natural kind of like drinker while you play, and no, I don't mean like alcohol drinker, you know, I mean, who doesn't enjoy a beer if they're of age while playing a video game? But like if you are, what I mean by a natural drinker is in like if you naturally just like sit there and have a soda or water or juice or something while you're playing a game like this, this build actually is very beneficial towards that. Because you basically only have to use your left hand to occasionally stack up your speed boosts. But otherwise, so here, I'll show you. Like, since I have the speed thing on, I'm literally just holding the left mouse down right now. I'm not doing anything else. That's it. My left hand's up here. See, you can hear me snapping the finger. How come we play with snapping the finger? You can still play it that way. You don't have to have both hands on the keyboard at all times if you need to. So, especially like say like, oh yeah, you're trying to do this, you're trying to get to that next level, or you're trying to farm and stuff, but you're hungry and you're trying to eat at the same time. This is also helpful. If it's a one-handed food snack or dinner or whatever, you can do it. If you need just that fork bite real quick, you can just go ahead, like, see, I'll wait for it, see, 1, 3, hands off the keyboard, I'm doing what I need to do, blah, 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 and then back on the keyboard. 1 again, just to get that speed boost. It works wonders. Boom, set piece. Shoulders. And the Raycors, so I don't really need them, but that's okay. Alright, that's never a bad thing. I don't mind getting all the other builds. I don't know if I've shown you my box yet, but it's kind of destroyed in terms of space now, just because I've been building so many characters. I might have to sneeze again, hold on. Being sick and trying to record, it sucks. Like, I feel terrible trying to do this all the time. Hold on. I will also have to check to make sure that my mic actually does fully mute that time. Because if it does not, then you'll hear that, and I don't want you to hear that. Oh, cool. The one I have is near perfect for the build. As you can see, though, this is all just strength stuff, and it's poured into here. What I need to do is I need to build... this is a really good piece of advice. If you're trying to save equipment so you can try out different builds, it would behoove you to build a brand new character. Same class, that type of anything, and just name him what he is. So, like, in my case, I'd just be like, you know, weapons. So you just call them weps or arm for armor and stuff like that. You can just build him and leave him as level 1 and use him as a donkey with his inventory to permanently hold your items like that, so you have more space. When the new season starts, that'll definitely be a thing. That'll definitely have to be updated because I'll have a lot of stuff I'll need to get rid of. But yeah, okay, so here's a grade of 31. This is typically like a middle point from the best and the worst Greater Rifters. So like, it's a good place to have a character that's still being completely built. But as you can see, Greater of 31, no problem at all. I'm still a meat grinder. When it comes to elite packs, it takes a little bit longer and I have to kind of spin a little bit just because this type of map is a little bit less intuitive. So, but the spinning, especially on the fatter enemies like this, is much better, as you can see. But yep. That's why I was making those stupid cleaning jokes. Because as you can see, you really don't have to pay too much attention to what's going on behind you anymore. Because as long as you get a couple of those dust devils through, like that, you can see it clears out the majority of them. Okay, one more time I might have to blow my nose again. I'm sorry so much for this. I'm... Depending on how I feel when I'm editing this, I might or might not make cuts at those points in time. We will see. They're not that long of a change, but I'll see. The struggle, man. The struggle of trying to do something like this, where it requires you to use your ears, nose, and throat. Then the very first thing that happens when you get sick is it totally screws up all your voice recording. And you feel like an ass because you're like, I don't like hearing that on other people's recordings. And then you're thinking about it, you're like, I don't want to redo the entire thing because I've already done some really quality stuff. And it's like, oh, great. So. Let's see what this is. Power pylon. Honestly enough, for the way I'm using this build right now. Oh, channeling. So this is, see, 1, 2, 3, hit 4 once in a while. 1, 2, 3. That's how you use this with a channeling pylon. You could also just do 1 and 3 and not 2, but I'm going to spam 2 because that'll allow me to have the 2 built up. Or have my Battle Rage on like its maximum cooldown as soon as that's over. So there you go. And so now this is how a little bit higher of a Greater Rift enemy is, like this Greater Rift Guardian. You just kind of spin in a circle on him. As you can see, it works very, very well. He gets hit by the majority of the tornadoes coming out of you, but anything he spawns gets decimated because it's going straight for them as soon as they spawn. And he doesn't really do damage to you because of all the spinning and resistance you have on. And done. Set piece. Two-handed mighty weapon. I was almost excited there for a second. Stupid potion and shield. Lidless wall has become the new denial in terms of shields because the lidless wall is now worthless. So I don't really have any gems to upgrade, so I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, 41. Wow, I beat that one quick. I'll go ahead and grab that just because I have all the gems on this character and all the gems I have left over. I don't really need to level up right now. But that'll do it for this episode. 502. That's my idea for a very good build. I think this one's rather fantastic. It's really entertaining, as you can see. Really easy to use. Quick, efficient in doing the levels like this. Just so you can kind of farm for legendaries. 80,000 over 5 seconds. I can save that. If I build a new character, that'll be a good potion for him to have. Actually, wait a minute. Oops. Ooh. Ah, screw it. I already have a really good one laying there that I'm not using, so. Okay, but yeah, that'll do it for this episode. In my personal opinion, it's almost my first iteration, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a really good character.
I cannot afford that.
Just due to the fact that like I'm going to probably use him more than any other one, just because of how fast he moves, how quick he can clear. But there we go. So for the next one, I'm going to go ahead and bring it right back again, back-to-back recordings, and then just show you guys how I farm these keys and how quick it could possibly take you. And then the last episode will be me using those keys to defeat the Guardians, the Uber bosses, to get the thing for a Hellfire Amulet and hopefully make a Hellfire Amulet for one of my characters. So thanks guys for watching, and we will see you really, really soon, actually.